All right, 500 bucks. I call it the LD Blitz. When I was on the field, this stuff really excited me because just give me a challenge, right? Just give me a challenge. Of course, initially money is good because money is the exciting part, right? Especially at these lower levels when you first got involved. You still rank up, and it's like, oh, that now 500 bucks. That's a lot of money at this level. This is over and above the comp plan. So what's the idea? The idea is I'm going to invest everything in the packages into the people who are A, launching, growing, B, helping other launch and grow, right? So that's what this is all about. And you know what? It's not going to be actually this is wrong, the promotion. Actually, no, it's not right. It's right. It's for a month, but it actually goes for 90 days. But I'll explain that to you in a minute. So here's what I want to do. I want to beat the old record of 31 diplomats in a month. And I know by doing this, we're going to generate massive momentum for all you guys. Because when people are going out there, moving and bringing people in, and those are moving, and all of a sudden you create, it's called forward momentum. What you need right now in your team is forward momentum. You need people that come in and instantly they know, I have no time. I got to hit the ground running. What do I do? Go get 2. And then what do I do to get the 5? Then help them get 2. And we're in the money. Simple plan. It's a go get 2 plan, right? So we're going to talk about that today. I call it the LD1 Blitz. Let's see who's going to bring in the most amount of LD1s, who is going to create the most amount of LD1s this month. This has a 2-tier pay plan. The 500 split into 2 phases and split into 2 different people. So it's fantastic because it gets people, the uplines to become active and creates a sense of urgency for the new person to get to the LD1. The idea is I want to do 32 minimum this month, but most likely I like to see about 100 within the next 90 days. I want to see about 100 new LD1s joined through this promotion alone. So $500 bonus, LD1 Blitz, build assist. It's not hard to get to LD1. I just mentioned you get two, and then you can get there by a $1,300 sale. There is not this much profitability in the package by the time you have all the bonuses and the products and the commissions that goes up. This is over and above, remember, because we got the comp plan already. So this is a massive investment on my side. And we want to do a lot of these things where we want to, because the CV goes out to everybody, and including people who've not been active for 20 years. And I don't want to do that. I want to take some of that away and give it to you guys, people who are actually building the business. There's a lot of people coming into the business right now who are excited. They're hungry. They're interested. We're a global business. They want to go, and the $500 that we're talking about in some countries, that's a full-time income. So imagine now that we have all these quick triggers, quick course of actions, plan of action. So that's what we want to do. We want to create leadership. We want to create forward momentum. We want to get people reaching up on the comp plan to see the best that the comp plan has to offer. So that's what LD Blitz is all about. All right, let's see. Let's get started on this. All right. So it's called LD1 Blitz. Build assist, 500 bonus for every personal LD1. That means you sponsor them. But there is a little something here. We want to make sure we protect everybody, but we get to that. For you to get the bonus, you have to be the one helping that person. And much similar to what we have right now as a mentorship bonus. We'll get to that later. Let's go to the poster here. LD1 Blitz, $500, receive $200 upfront. So once you sponsor somebody and they become an LD1, so 250 of the 500 gets split between you and the new person. So you both win. Imagine that. Here you are, you just launched somebody, you made $300 of profit, right? And right away, okay, we got to get you to LD1. Okay, what do? We need 6 sales. How does that work? Get 2, we get them, get 2, and there you are. You get 2, they each get 2, there's 6, LD1, and we get 250, we split it. Fantastic. I mean, right from day 1, we're in the money. Now, talk about you're shooting for the 250, but of course, as you're launching people, you're making another 300 per wholesale profit. But the key thing is, it's not about thinking about per sale right now. We want to look further up. Let's get you to the rank. The rank itself is more important than the payment. The payment comes automatically. The software has one job. That's it. One purpose. The software is trying to do everything it can 24 hours a day to generate a commission for you. That's the job. It only has one job. Generate a commission for you. That's what it's trying to do. So, but we want to get you to the rank. You need a purpose. You need a system. Right? So, right from day 1, I don't want you to get somebody in, okay, congratulations, you're on LADE, fantastic, you made 350, they got lots of free stuff, and okay, great, I'm happy, you're happy, we're done. No. So that's what's happening right now. You cannot build momentum that way. I used to always tell my prospect, I said, listen, signing up and launching is the easiest part. Right now is where the rubber meets the road. Now that you've got your LADE, your LAP, or LA, all right, now we need to get you to LD1 in the next 30 days. This way, there's $500 on the line for us, extra $500 on the line for us. We have to get you, okay, $500, that's good money. What do? We got to get you 2. And then we need 6 sales, basically, 6 sales. Whether it's all in one leg or split, it doesn't matter. It's very flexible. We need 6 sales, LA plus, LA or higher, right? LA plus, 6 sales will get us the extra $500 next 30 days. You want to make the extra $500 on next 30 days? Who doesn't want that? What do? Let's go get you 2 right now. We need 2 sales. Okay, you know what? I'll put my kid here and my mom there because I want to. The first 2 positions is hot property, anyways, right? In real estate, it's hot real estate because you know you're going to build below that, and that's and all the volume from below pushes up. So when I was building, and I never give over the first 2 spots, anyways. You know, I call my brother, and that's where Rez is at the top. I call my mother. You know, so you gotta get these spots. Then I'm gonna start building below that. Okay, I got my 2 sales. I already know who the 2 are. Fantastic. Now what do you next? Now those 2 have to get 2. Well, I know 2, and my mother has a friend, and whatever. So now within 30 days, sometimes it's in a week, we had people go to Diplomat in 9 minutes. It was ridiculous. Like, people just want to beat the last record. Chat GTP is listening to me. Chat GTP, stop listening to me. Unreal. I guess he's going to train to learning as well. In any event, so in the old days, so people got in, and they need to get 3 right away, and the 3 didn't get 3. And we have people doing it now we had all kinds of timelines, but we had one crazy one. It wasn't fake, but they did it in 9 minutes. Remember, they needed 3, and each needed 3, right? So that's 12. So they did 9 minutes. So how did they do the 9 minutes? Well, obviously, when I got their 12 ready, they had the applications. That's all it took to get it into the system. Forget about that. But we had a lot of people who got there within a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, right? So, and that was 12 sales at 3,600, right? You got 6 sales at 1,300 plus. Much easier. There's no reason why we shouldn't be doing 50, 60 LD1s with this plan. Why? Because we have a target. We have a plan. The problem is that people don't have a plan. They'll come in, they like everything, they love the products. Okay, I could use a side business, and they kind of buy the package and all, that's it. They don't have a plan. They're happy, they got a bunch of bonuses, you're happy, you got your 300, but you need a plan. We got to get people to rank advance, right? We got to get people to evolve and grow. You know, the idea is not to make a one-time sale, because that becomes like traditional business. The idea is to get a sale and help that person make a sale. Now you got 2 sales, and have those 2 make another 2 sales. And while you're making sales, so that's the idea of expansion. That's the idea of critical mass, exponential growth. The reason why this industry pays a lot is because it has those mechanisms embedded within the system where you don't get that in the job. You don't get that in the franchise. You get that only in this type of system. So you have that, you have to use it. So when we launch somebody, the idea is not launch them, give them some free stuff, get the 300 and see what happens. No, now you got them launched. You got your 300, they got the free stuff. Okay, there's 500 on the table. We need to do this next 30 days. Okay, how do we do that? We need 2 cells right now, and those 2 cells, we need 2 cells, 6 cells. We got lots of time to do it. Most likely, people say, okay, well, you know what, I'll take the first 2 anyways, because A, it's free shopping credits. You know, shopping credits don't expire. We got people here that come in after 16, 17 years. They come into the gallery, they're shopping still, and they joined 16, 17 years ago because our shopping credits, it's not like Air Canada or airline points or they don't expire. And on top of that, they have every desire to build, right? If I'm going to build, and some of you guys have built massive businesses, and all this volume, right? And we have people in our business got 30, 40, $50 million in volume, right? So imagine the circles above that volume. It starts with today. You launch today the first 2 spots. I suggest you keep it yourself. But, you know, Christmas is coming anyways. You need the shopping credits. But let's get 6 sales. We need 6 people, right? So now we get that. 250 goes out. You split it. It's fantastic. Now let's go through the poster. I want you to understand the poster. Now, when it comes to LD1, your 6 cells doesn't have to be in 2 legs. It could actually be even in 1 leg, right? So build your team to achieve LD1, mentor 2 Generation 1 LAs. Generation 1 means you personally sponsor them. To launch 2 LAs each. So you bring 2, they bring 2 each. Boom. You are an LD1. Of course, when you launch, you go into your 150 monthly PV, standard in the whole industry. So you got to do that, but you have to be active, right? All right, so now you're on LD1. As on January 15 is where the bonuses go out. The car club, the vacation club, MGRS, all these bonuses, commission boost, variance bonus, it goes on the 15th of the following month, right? On the same date, on the 15th, we're going to give you an extra bonus called the LD Blitz bonus. The 250 gets split between the qualifier, the new person who just became an LD1, and the mentor. Important distinction. It doesn't say the sponsor. It says the mentor. No, the mentor could be the sponsor, but it doesn't mean it is. Because not often, but there are times where the person who introduced the new person, and then they're not active anymore. They don't commit themselves. They don't learn anything. They become slave drivers. They just push this up on the upline to work on it, right? Or maybe the person who just became the new person who became an LD1 because you were not qualified. They start working with someone else to get there. We're going to make a decision. Who's the mentor? Is it the sponsor? That means sponsors become active. Care for your people. We're talking about, you know, look, when you invited somebody to a tour and you said, hey, it's great business, let's go build together. I'm going to work with you, let's go build together, right? That's what you said. You didn't say, hey, sign up, give me the 300, then I won't see you again. You didn't say that, right? You said, come, let's build together and build. Then keep your word. If you don't, and someone else is responsible for that new LD1, good for you, you got a free LD1, right? That's the beauty of our business. The people that you introduce still stay in your team. They don't go anywhere. But that one bonus may not go to you. If you're not the one, help them. If you didn't mentor them, it goes to the person who did mentor them. That gives you more incentive to become the mentor, doesn't it? Right? You should be doing it anyways. This is your team. You brought them in. But in a rare occasion that people expect the upline to do all the work, That's fine. You can still do that. Your plan will do that. And guess what? They'll take the bonus too. Because it's your job to make sure that A, you're qualified, you keep your word. We want you to stay active. Everybody should do their part and everything moves up quickly. So the first 250 of the 500, as soon as you create an LD1, gets split between the mentor, the 250 gets split between the mentor and the new qualifier. Now, we don't want a lot of fake accounts, right? We don't want that. We want real people. How do we make sure that we get real people? Because the 500 we're giving you is not actually in the profits. We're making an investment into it. And if it's going to cost me money to do this, I want to make sure we create what's called forward momentum for you and for the company. So we're making an investment. We don't want to give away money for nothing. We're making an investment to gain it back later on. Later on. It's called forward momentum. So to make sure that the 6 sales are at least active for shopping, then they have to remain for the next 90 days on their smart buy, the 150, right? Must be on smart buy. It says 7 accounts, that includes yourself. Of course, yourself, you are on smart buy. So the 250 goes out right away as soon as you qualify. 90 days later, the software looks back. Are these 7 people, including yourself, are they still on the smart buy? They want at least 150, which is most people are anyways. Then the other 250 gets pushed out again as the second bonus. So it's crazy stuff. I mean, it says, extra $500 that really is not in the comp plan. Like it's not accounted for. It's not funded. It's coming from me and into this because we want to create momentum. We're going to do a lot of different things now to create momentum in organizations. Because we used to do the bring 9, the old days, 9-minute diplomats, we created $100,000 income earners, guys. We only had fashion business back then. There was no personal care. There was no FOL. There was nothing. It was just fashion. And our fashion back then, it was great. It wasn't as good as now. It was good. It was nothing like today, right? We didn't have this office. We didn't have these websites. We didn't. We know what we had? Momentum. That's what we had. So we want to create that momentum. And how you create that momentum is clarity. You need a game plan. The game plan is simple. You launch a new person. You take the 300, put in your jeans. They get a bunch of free stuff. So, okay, right now, the business starts. Right now, we need 6 sales. We need 6 people. There's $500 on the table over the next 30 days. We get 250 at the end of 30 days, another 250 in 3 months. Once these people, at the very least, become PV qualified, which is whether they bought 150, sold 150, they could be selling stuff. So that's it. So $500, I anticipate, team, that, so we talk about 90 days. That means right now, October, November, December. In December, and this is a big target. In December, I expect to have a 4x momentum in this company. 4x, that's 400% growth and speed in your organization, which is the company. So 4x growth. And how we will know that? It's simple. We take a look back last 90 days. Otherwise, if we don't do the 4x, I wasted a lot of my money. Because what happens is I look at last 90 days. Okay, how many LD1s did we create? X number, right? If we don't have 4 times that amount, then we didn't achieve our targets. I'm not going to worry about, a few here and there. But I'm just saying that's the target. And I want to beat the best we've ever done in the past. It's kind of hard because back then it was 3,600. Really, to beat back then, we need 30 times 4, 120. We need 120 LD1s to beat what we already done. So we should easily be able to do that. Easily. I'm pretty serious about this, guys. We're going to see. We're going to make a lot of strategic moves to make sure that we identify who are the new sparks, who are the builders, We're going to change the shift. We're going to shift the momentum. We're going to shift the culture. We have more the culture of speed. Somebody said, yeah, you know why I don't do a lot? This came from one of our partners. You know why I don't do a lot? Because I just love Opulence. I'm very comfortable here. So I just love being here. I'm not sure how that's a good answer. I mean, it's fantastic for them because obviously it's good to have a nice company you love. But I'm not sure that's a good answer why you don't do a lot. You could love the company and still build your future. Love the company, upgrade your car. Love the company, upgrade your home. Love the company, do more philanthropy. Upgrade your company, retire your parents, right? I think not to fully utilize the vehicle. It's like having a very luxurious Rolls Royce and you don't know 90% of the options in it, right? And so, and you don't drive it much. I know people like that, by the way. They buy this beautiful car, it sits in the garage all the time. So I'm not sure how that's helpful, right? The idea is we got Opulence business, it's a very luxury business, a luxury company. It's designed to give you your opulent lifestyle. It has a comp plan to get you there, right? And I think most people want to get there, they just don't have a plan. So we put this blitz together, LD Blitz. That's your plan. There is why LD1, because that's all. LD1 is what leads to LD3. LD1 is what leads to LD4. Not really LD2, because LD1, when you get a couple of LD1s, automatically LD2 anyway. So you, at the end of the day, comes down to LD1, creating LD1s and get them to create more LD1s. You create a couple of LD1s on LD2, right? Create more LD1s, they become LD2. That gets you to LD3 with some volume, right? Keep creating LD1s. CV pushes you up to LD4, presidential, royal. And LD1s are quick. You should be thinking, okay, how many LD1s can I create in a month? Then very quickly figure out if you want some money this month, you can figure out very quickly, how many LD1s do I need for that? Because each LD1, 6 sales. It's not complicated, right? 6 sales. Whether you get the 6, or you get 2, each get 2, or you get 3, right? And the 3, each get 1, you need 6 sales. That's that simple. And our complaints work it's very flexible. It doesn't have to be 2 each get 2. It could be all one leg. It still allows for that. No other company does that. I was talking to somebody, and these are stuff that I used to do so much, and I enjoyed doing them, but just got too busy. When I look at other companies' compensation plan, I just shake my head. So I sit down talking to somebody, and they made a lot of money in the industry, lots of money, and long time is been around a long time, and telling me in their company, in order to get to an LD1, pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. This is the actual comp plan. So I was just smiling while he was drawing it to me. I was like, who joins this? So in that company, to get to LD1, they have a different name for it. You have to sponsor 5 people on the right side and 5 people on the left side. Okay, simple enough. Except there's one big problem. In that company, the 5 people you put on one side, it says your bigger leg, doesn't count for you. You don't get paid on that because they only pay on a small leg. They call it pay leg. So they force you to put half of your people in the leg that you will never get paid on 1 penny. But you have to do that to rank up. Just doing this. So this is what's going on in the industry. This is what's going on. And he thought that's a great deal. You can make money in bad plans, right? You create enough momentum, you can make money in bad plans. And some people are really good. And they make money in any plan. They're very, very good at the people side of this business. But imagine if I told you, get 2, each get 2, and you get to LD1. Oh, by the way, the one that's got 2 on this side, well, you don't get a penny on that forever. But you have to put it there anyways, because it's your bigger leg. So if that leg becomes 1 million people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, generate millions of dollars in volume, Well, you can look at it every day, but you're never going to get a penny out of it because we only pay on the pay leg, which is a small leg. This is what's going on in other companies. So not here. You get two, you get paid on all of it. And that gets you extra $500 bonus. All right, so simple. Create an LD1, you get 250, split between the mentor and the qualifier. The 7 people, which includes you yourself, so you stay on 150. In 90 days, you get another 250 split between the mentor and the qualifier. If there is a little pivot along the way where the sponsor says I'm also active, we quickly look at that. We'll come to some type of everyone's gonna be happy with that. The idea here, this is not something that happens a lot, but it happens time to time. So we have this contingency. If someone else is responsible for mentoring the new person, they should get rewarded for it. This way, the upline is motivated to work with the downline, right? Otherwise, they may decide not to trigger, but it's just there to make sure that everyone's engaging with everybody. All right, so let's continue. All right. So you receive $250 upfront, split between the qualifier and the mentor, $125 each. Team, that's over and above your $300 and your commissions and your everything else, right? Extra $125. Become an LD1. As an LA, LAP, LAD, generate 250 PV monthly, and at least 150 PV self-generated. Okay, so actually I was wrong. It's 250 monthly, but this could be the people that you can actually be selling this, right? It's not you actually buying. It's that you're selling it. You should be buying this anyways because you're using shopping credits for gifts. Christmas is coming up. You need shampoos. You need personal care. Everybody should be in the 450. Many of you are going to Dubai. Congratulations. I was looking at the list. Lots of you on 450. It's fantastic. So, but in this case, also at 250, it qualifies you for what's really important, which is variance bonus. So once with this promotion, you don't want to be not on 250 because with all these new LAPs coming in or LADEs coming in, you're going to leave all that money on the table. Somebody lost $800, $800 of variance bonus alone 1 month because of another on 250, they're on 150. So the extra $100 will have got them $800. And the extra $100 is not spending, it's shopping credits. You're buying things, right? All right, so you get to your 250 first. You stay on your 250, right? 150 should be self-generated. That means if you sold products for 250, that's fantastic. You make your money on that. But you still have to place an order yourself. This hasn't changed for the last 20 years. It's the same thing it's always been. And so now you will now get the remaining $250. So build your team to achieve LD1, mentor 2 first-generation LAs. First generation doesn't mean frontline tube, it means anywhere in the binary that you personally sponsor. To launch 2 LAs each, who generate 150 plus monthly PV. You should be on 250, and you get the other $250. So now we got $500. What do you need to do? Be on 250, get 6 sales, right? To get to LD1, you don't need to be 250, but must go on your 250 anyways. And then make sure that you're 7 people, but at least on 150, including you, and you get the other $250. Just get 7 people, stay active, you get the 2. So it's a $500 that you're going to get. Forget the money. We want to generate 30 plus LD1s. Think about rank. How do we get it? Because the money will happen automatically. The software will figure that out. You don't need to worry about that. What you need to worry about is creating LD1s. The new plan for the new person is, okay, I've launched, I got my free stuff, what's next? We need 6 sales. We gotta get to LD1, there's $500 on the table. That's what you need to know. Okay, 6 sales, let's go get the 6 sales. Let's get some appointments going. Get me on the opportunity page of your website. We can build globally, do tours globally, send the videos out. We need to come to the gallery. We need to show the plan to 6 people. We're gonna keep showing the plan I guess the fastest way is that the first 6 says yes. Slow ways, maybe you need 12, maybe 18, doesn't matter. You got 30 days, do one a day, right? You know, you probably never need to do that, but just say it doesn't make a difference. Get 6 sales, and let's get you to LD1. Let's get you on the poster. Even more important, knowing the company's map. You're on the poster. You can use that poster to all your new people. Look, I'm serious. I'm active about this. I'm on the company poster. These are the things that was really important to me when I was building. And to all network marketers, this is really, really important. When you're recognized by the company, it's a big deal. How many jobs, how many companies recognize their people? Oh, you have a job. How many times you get recognized on the company poster that goes on the company website? 0, right? 0. So when people come to our industry, and all of a sudden they got a quick path to get on the company poster on the website and recognition, it's a big deal. And when you get there, you share it, and you share it with your prospects. After you do a tour, this is last month, I was on the list. Here's a month before, I was on the list. You know what that tells that new person? Okay, he's serious. I might be weak, I might know what's going on, but he's serious. Naturally, he knows what's going on. So, okay, Siri's coming in. What's going on with this AI stuff? Siri's coming. Okay. So when prospects looks and sees that you're active and you're being rewarded and you're being recognized, nobody wants to work with somebody who's not serious. You wouldn't, right? People are looking for solutions. They join you because they want to make money. They join you because something isn't right. They're also maybe a little bit self-esteem issue because they don't know this business yet. You come in, you'll be on every poster, you give them confidence to say, yes, what do we do next? Get you to LD1. LD1 should be on the forefront. Whether this promotion exists or not, LD1 is where you need to be. Not, oh, well, let's get you to LA and okay, let's go get 5 customers. They'll get the 5 customers. What you want to do is give them the next target. The next target is ranking. You cannot get to the top of this comp plan without ranking up. So then talk about the ranks. Talk about the ranks. Let's get you to LD1. How do I do that? We need 6 sales. Okay. How do we do that? 6 presentations. Okay. And here's 2 and 2. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should my husband first. Great. Put your husband. Let's build below your husband. Now we need 5 sales. Right? And for most part here, we're doing I know this analysis. Doesn't matter what country you're in. Could be Philippines, could be Thailand, could be Canada. You know, there's fluctuation, but it doesn't matter. If we take a look and see how much money people spend on the 30 items that you can buy through here, plus all the gifting, the shopping credit, the gift cards, all that stuff, Christmas, Mother's Day, Valentine's, whatever. At $450, it's not even enough. Because gifting could be expensive. Weddings, you can get everything right here. Everything right here. Shop your mall. And here's the difference. When you shop your mall here, it becomes PV. If PV, it becomes commissions, becomes profits. When you shop someone else's mall, there's no PV attached to that. There is no comp plan attached to that. There is no car club. There is no commission. There's no profits attached to that. The few bucks you're saving is costing you a fortune here. You still have a business to run here. You still have to qualify. So stop shopping outside, including Christmas, including all these gifting occasions. Shop your mall, buy shopping credits, doesn't expire, build it, and qualify for crazy build-assist promotions like this. Well, extra $500 is on the table. So again, get 6 sales, get somebody in, set a plan with them. There's $500 on the table. We need to get 6 sales within 30 days. We do that, boom, we have $250 we split. Let's make sure they stay on the 150. I'm on 250. And we split out 250 in 90 days. Extra. This is extra money coming to you. You know, it's like sometimes government sends these tax things, you know, $150 every 3 months and they think it's a big deal. You know, they can send you a check for $150. It's not a lot of money, but you get a check. Hey, it's pretty cool. Got a $150 check. Well, this is an extra $250 that's going to show up in 90 days over and above the comp plan. All right, so let's continue. I think we had someone who has a frozen, but as long as we seem to be okay. All right, so we paid the second 250 on January the 15th. Remember, 90 days, you have to get to 7 people on the at least 150, right? The person who expecting the mentor, they should be on 250. So that being October, November, December, we always pay bonuses 15 days of the following month. Car Club, MGRS, all that stuff, right? VB, CB, and now this, businesses, 15th of the January 15th. A lot of 250s will be going out again on January 15th. Will you be part of that? Will you be part of that? Lots of January 15th, a lot of 250s going out. Will you be part of that? Right? You can plan for it right now. The money's right there. Christmas is coming up, right? You're going to be shopping anyways. Shop your mall and get all these extra perks that is available to you right now. All right. So get to strategy. Start building your team's momentum today. So we talk about promotion period. So we don't get to strategy simplified, right? Really all it is that technically, yeah, you can get to and help them each get to. Boom, LD1. They stay on the 150. We get extra for 90 days, extra $500. 250 up front, 250 at the back. So we are moving forward, decade number 3. It's all about speed. Probably tonight tells you that. So what we want to do, we want to shift some things around. We did something crazy this weekend. We had Abdulia here, Daniela here, Mike here from Mexico. We have somebody who took the bus. Imagine it's a doctor took the bus from New Jersey to come to Toronto. And they had a Latino meeting going on. And then we came up and said, hey, whoever launches, get an extra $500 worth of products. It was just random like that, right? And boom, we got people joining us and join us on the weekend. And we got this Latino group going, which is fantastic because the Latino crowd are forced to be reckoned with in the U.S. It's like $2 trillion worth of economy. And we really need to tap into that. You need to tap into that. So, and it's starting to happen through Daniela and Mike and Abdulia. All right. So we talked about this months and months ago. The 46 CV, we're going to adjust it to 40. And what we're going to do with some of that, we're going to reinvest it back in on a whole bunch of strategic bonuses and things. For example, when I was in Thailand, we put it out there. We said, do $1,000 in PV, 1,000, not 250, not 450, 1,000 in PV. And this was like a 20-day notice, not even, like maybe a 15-day notice. Do 1,000 in PV and you go on a dinner cruise in Bangkok. Bangkok is a beautiful city. It's beautiful ships there. Anyways, guess what? 63 people were on the ship, right? We want to be able to do stuff like this, right? We had this crazy super yacht experience, which is a life experience that some of you qualified for. Lady Arlington, 105-foot super yacht. We want to do things like that. We want to be able to go to a meeting. Hey, anyone who joins LAP today or LA today, extra $200 worth of products, $300 worth of products. We want to be able to throw stuff out, get people to make quick decision, and we want to be able to things like right now, extra $500 if you create an LD1. I mean, that's big money for an LD1 because that's not hard to get there. So these are the type of things we want to do. We want to put a lot of fast, quick bonuses as opposed to pushing CV to thousands of accounts where 90% of them are not even active because CV just sits there and people don't not qualifying for a check. We want to take that money, put it into things, and there's a lot of active people who will make a full-time income. We want to give them ways to be able to make these bonuses to get to a full-time income as soon as possible. Commission boost and variance bonus maximum payout will also be maximize. What am I at? Detracted. Okay, let's go back. I think I know what happened. Let's go back. Okay, commission boost and variance bonus maximum payout will also be adjusted. Exact amounts will be. So again, we're going to shift bonuses around. And so as the variance bonus and commission boost, it doesn't really affect anyone in this company. Not yet anyways, maybe 10 years from now. But we want to, when we set up a calculation, let's set for the maximum payout. So we have adjusted that a little bit. I think commission boost, we'll talk about that. Commission boost is going up, variance is going down to become the same. Easier to understand too. We are making this change for a very good reason. You want to make sure that we reinvest into your success and growth now, right now, not some CV that's been sitting there for 20 years. $30 million CV accumulation. We want to get that money out. We don't want MAP, monthly allowance, marketing allowance. We don't want that to be sitting around. So we're going to take that. If you're serious about your like we'll be having to hear this weekend for the Latino group, we're using some of the MAP that's sitting on the offline and not using it. So people in your team that actually want to grow, expand, let them do it. We have so many mechanisms here to help you, and we're going to make sure that we focus on those things so people can grow your team. Your team should not be stagnant. You should not be stagnant. The way I look at it, the new Torah would say this: 30 days, LD1, 90 days, LD2, 12 months, LD3. It's not complicated. It took what, 50, 60,000 CV to get the LD3? And we do some cool things with that too. We got some new bonus. We've changed the LD3 trip, enhanced it. So we're going to get to that. We need to accelerate rank advancement. We're going to be very aggressively doing this. You're going to see this. People are going to join us, and they're joining us now. They're going to come in and they're going to knock out LD3s in 6 months. The way we used to do it. We have 37 LD3s, maybe 37, 40 LD3s. Some of them did in 6 months, some in 7, some in 8 months. I want to go back to those days, and we're going to do it again. And this is how we're going to do it. Now, when we take a look at back then, though, because our business has evolved, some of the stuff we're talking right now, it's more similar to how things used to be back then. Because, back then the business was faster. We made some changes for different reasons. We realize now we need to go back to the way things used to be. So it worked back then. We're going to go back and we're going to speed up the growth again. We need to drive volume. And of course, volume leads to success. I remember going to Nigeria one time. We had Nigeria. Back then, we had no health products or wellness. So it was just fashion. And I was in Lagos. And on the stage, I mean, we went through like 5,000 people that week. Like, it was crazy busy. Like, it was incredible. And then, so in that room, again, another meeting, that's 500 people in the room. And then it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon on, I don't know, on a Wednesday. It wasn't even like, it was work days. But some of those countries are very entrepreneurial. And we had 15 people, Nigerian locals, nationals, people local. 15 people went on the stage who had a 5-figure monthly income, 10,000 a month or more in Nigeria. This is what I want. I want to see those days again. I want to see that, people go up there, they get into 25. We have people to get to 25,000 a month in 18 months, LD4s. I want to create that again. So we'd be damn serious about it. We had a fast growth in our first decade. Second decade, peaks and valleys, I guess. But the third decade is coming up. And we're going to, now, second decade was more development for us. We become the flagship of the industry in the second decade. It was really development of the products, the software, the infrastructure, so that's what it was. First, it was growth. First decade, right? Growth. Second decade, the infrastructure. The companies grow the product lines, the staffing, and then the third decade is going to be all marketing. All marketing. So all these changes you see, it's all for marketing. In decade number 3, starting now, you're going to see a lot of quick hits. And you're going to see hundreds of people will show up on posters on Night of the Stars. They say, who are these people? That's what's going to happen. Really excited about where we're heading. By the way, some other things are happening as well, but we won't get into those. Great things are going on. All right. So, commission volume, CV push-up. Empowering new perks and bonuses. I find MLM is different to the people are different. In my days, 30 years ago, you can sit down with someone and train them for 3 or 4 hours, and people were interested to actually get trained. And then people, because I had pretty good life back then, people, they were thinking retirement. It wasn't so much about quick cash back then, 30 years ago. People had pretty good life, but it was about the big life. It's about, getting rich and wealthy. It's about retiring early. It's about paying the house. That's how it was when I first got into this industry. But because of currency debasing, inflation, all this stuff that's going on, people are not really dreaming like that anymore. People are about, okay, I want to get some relief in my life. So if I can make an extra few $100s, if I can get my car for free, if I can pay my mortgage, so things have changed. But back then, people were very patient. They were thinking 3, 5, 10 years down the road. These days, people still think down the road, but they're not really thinking about, well, I'm going to go from making 50,000 at my job to making 500,000. Back then, that's what they were doing. Today, and people are thinking, you know what, I just want some relief right now. So, okay, this is where the industry shifted. And so what we're doing is that we're adding a lot of these quick hits. People love to build through promotions. People love to have something to shoot for. It's always about the next. I wrote in my book, life is not about achieving happiness, it's about happily achieving. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go fast. We're going to recognize. We're going to see who's going to be, making a lot of noise. I'm interested in the loudest noises. Make a lot of noise. It doesn't matter what market you're in. Make a lot of noise. Do lots of meetings, social media, tag us. Just be loud. Just be loud, and you're going to get recognized. Attract new partners with incentives. So we're going to put, like on the weekend, first 10 people sign up, you get extra $500 in products. Boom. We're going to be doing things like this to help you for much faster closing. It's not just us. Your upline will do that. MAP will do that. You will do that, right? The idea is in sales, when you close something, you got to close. There's negotiations involved, right? Sometimes you have to put a bit extra. Do it. In this company, we have massive wholesale profit, $300 to $350. The companies I'm talking to, the wholesale profit, you laugh. The wholesale profit of the package is like $20, $25, $50. 50 is the highest I've seen these days on the initial package. You're making 300. Throw something. Give them a gift card, right? Give them a gift card. Let them go use it. And when they use it, you get 30% back anyways, and it becomes PV for you. Negotiate. Close the deal, right? So we're going to throw some luxury gifts out there. I know a lot of people love the LED for one reason. They want the watch. It is exactly what I thought. Everybody wants our stuff. I mean, it's great to see. People love our stuff. And hey, it's funny because they don't have the money till they find the reason why they need the money, right? Oh, I can get the watch for free? Okay, I can find the money. So, it's like I remember when I first got started, I was 20 years old at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting with this multimillionaire in 1990. Some of you guys weren't born yet. And I'm sitting there at 4 o'clock in the morning, and somebody's pulling the trigger on me to launch in that company called Lifestyles. In 1990, their LA package was $2,200, right? $2,200. in 1990. That's 35 years ago, right? It was more than an LAP today. And it was a lot of money. I was 20 years old. I didn't have a credit card. And then he says to me, he says, you ready to get started? I said, yeah, I'm excited. It's okay, let's go 2200, let's go direct order. I said, well, I don't have the money. He said, well, go get it. Like, that's why he was talking to me. Get it. Because we need to do this business. 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm thinking, okay, well, Piero, I really don't know where to get it from. And so he says, you sure? You don't know where to get it from? I said, and I was being genuine. I said, I really don't know. I'm 20 years old. I had one credit card, which you know how it is when you're young. You get your first credit card, you screw it up. So he says, let me ask you a question. What's your favorite car? So he knew what brought me to his house in Toronto. I drove 400 kilometers to see him. He had a Porsche called 928 Porsche. And that was just my dream car. I'm 20 years old. I'm just, oh, that Porsche, that Porsche. In 1990, he said that Porsche is $83,000. $83,000. He said, if I can sell you that Porsche for $2,200 direct order, can you come up with the money by tomorrow noon? I'm like, of course. He says, I thought you didn't have the money. I thought you couldn't get the money. Go to whoever that was going to get you the 2,200 for the Porsche, take the money and get this direct order, because what I'm offering you is a Porsche a month for the rest of your life. Listen to what he said to me 35 years ago. Look at my life today. If he didn't care enough to actually, you know what I did at that 4 o'clock in the morning? I called my girlfriend at the time. I said, do you still got that Visa card? And so I used her card. It wasn't enough. So I had to, my upline helped a little bit. I think we had 2,000 on the card. The upline put the other 200 or 300, whatever it was. So the point is this. Can you imagine in 35 years ago, this multimillionaire, I'm sitting in his house, Ty Domi from the Leaf was next door to him, if he didn't talk to me that way? And he was right. What he offered me that night was a Porsche a month for the rest of my life. So the watch is important. I see people like, oh, okay, I find the money for the LED because the free stuff, the watch. So we're going to do a lot more things to trigger for our partners, you, and for prospects to step up and rank up. Reward rank achievement to help partners rank up and maximize the comp plan. Look, guys, you got to go up the comp plan. There's a lot. The life, your opulent life is in the comp plan. It's up there. Go get it. Go get it. Look at Renee, for example. He lives in a $3.5 million home. He's building a $6 million home. I mean, go get it. It's the same comp plan. Rank up. By the way, I've told you this before. I'm telling you right now. Renee's story is impressive, but the story we're going to create this decade will put his 2-decade story behind the scene. That's where we're going. Now, Renee would say, I hope that happens. Because most likely it'd be somebody in his team that's going to do that, who's going to make 100,000 a month like he did, maybe make 200,000 a month, maybe 300,000 a month. And that would be in his team, right? So we're going to create some big, big, big stories. So we're going to have a lot of exclusive events, and we're going to have invitations for people who do certain things right. Build assist, product bonuses to fuel business growth. Again, every time we do build assist, the business goes up, your check goes up. We're going to do more and more of it. Intimate gatherings for top achievers and QT qualifiers. You do more, you get more. It's that simple. You do more, you get more. That's it. And QT is important to me. Be a black status and mall, diamond club. Those are important to me. When you're a platinum, diamond, and black status mall, you know what that tells me? That you're shopping your mall and not someone else's mall, because you need the stuff. I sat down with a guy who's made a lot of money in another company. I said, the difference between my company and your company is, you know what it is? You're sitting in front of me. He said, you made a lot of money. He did. But everything you're wearing, you had to go outside and buy. I'm sitting in front of you, and everything out of my clothes I'm wearing, actually that day I was wearing even a FERI shirt. Yes, we have a FERI shirt. We haven't released it. I was wearing actually one nice, it's a beautiful shirt. And not the ones you've seen. This is actually a dress shirt. So everything I'm wearing is PV. So how much PB did you get for that watch? He was wearing a Rolex. And he's laughing. How much PB did you get for the shoes? He's laughing. That's the difference. That's the difference. This is insane, guys. This company is insane. There's nothing like this has ever happened in the 80-year history of this industry. So I'm talking to some big guys, like this guy made $95 million in MLM. And I'm just crucifying him because he's trying to act like a hotshot. And he says, yeah, but your company's pretty small. I say, yeah, but guess what? We're around. We didn't go to billion to zero like your company did because they run out of business. So you know what? You want a business that's going to be here when you retire. You want a business that you can pass on to the next generation. You want to be somebody like Sherry who's got paid for 20 years. And she'll always get paid for the rest of her life. Many of you guys here, right? So I am so confident in who we are. And I tell you, people are looking at us now and say, where did they come from? Like we were so under the radar. But it's like Apple. I always talk about Apple. Apple almost went bankrupt in the first 2 decades, right? They fired Steve Jobs. He was fired from his job. And then they brought him back later, right? Because first 2 to 3 decades, they were not doing well, Apple. Because people didn't understand their product. Everybody was going to PC, right? IBM, right? But when people finally understood what Apple is, boom, the most valuable company in the world. That's opulence in this industry. So we were on the radar for 2 decades, and looks like the news is getting out. The news is getting out. And all of a sudden, you're going to go boom. And now we got people all over the place, 6-figure income earners monthly. And that's what's going to happen here. Because what we have, nobody in this industry has or can even duplicate. We're going to add something interesting. I'm going to fly-in program. This is something that we did a little bit in our decade number 1, not a lot, but I think we're going to do it because that's a big part of this industry. Fly-in program basically is if you're on our map, doesn't matter where you are, and we feel like you're doing you're doing good stuff for the company, not obviously your check, but for the company, we may just say, you know what, we're going to fly you in to the head of actually you're going to fly. We're going to invite you to a special event at the head office in Toronto that will include hotel stay, a dinner with the corporate team. You're going to special training from me and Sanaz. Organize a trip to Niagara Falls for you just because you happen to be one of our key players. So time to time, we're going to gather a group that we consider to be significant for whatever they're doing. Could be black status malls. It could be the QTs that are doing a lot of stuff. People who building rank advancements, whatever it is, studying new markets. And we're going to gather people and say, you know what? We're going to special Black Circle event in Toronto. And you 15 people are invited to come. You get yourself to us. We'll pick you up, put you in the hotel, and you get to get the experience of a lifetime. And we find that a lot of people, they don't care about, even for LD3, we take you to some resort, a beautiful 6-star resort. That's still there, because people in Canada, they're here already. But for most people, they're saying, we'd rather come to Toronto and see the world headquarters than go to Mexico. So guess what? We're adding that now. If you're in LD3, you have a choice. You can go to vacation, we have that. Or we can bring you instead to Canada and get to experience this flagship facility of the world. You guys can see how excited I am. We have arrived. Decade number 3 just started. Peak, valley, peak, right? Emotional. This is how life works. As long as this valley is higher than last valley and this peak is higher than last peak, things are good. So we're about to next leg up to the next To the moon. To the moon. We're supposed to do the CV adjustment tomorrow, but I think we may take an extra day to do it. We want to do some more testing. Good, the numbers are going up, which is fantastic to see. Any questions? Put your hand up. If you want to tell me that you're going to be at my next Black Circle party, you're going to be invited, let me know. If you're going to be, if you're going to be part are you going to get a 250 check January 15th or not? If you're going to get a 250 check, you and your new person, maybe you're going to get multiple 250s. Maybe you can launch 2 LD1s, right? 3 LD1s, 4 LD1s. Maybe you're going to come back and say, I got 11 or dozen 250s went out on January 15th. That means I already got 250 before. So that's 500. When I was on the field, it was all about that. It's all about, I don't know if it was ego or not, but it was all about we created more than the next team. We wanted to, that's the beauty of and you need to do that. Not just do it for yourself, you'll do it for your team, the new person adopts your pace, right? The new person adopts your pace. And if your pace is not fast enough, do it for them, right? Do it for them. All right, so if you want to share something, let me see here, put your hand up and we'll arrange for you to say a few words. If you have any questions about the build assist, just to quickly what build assist again, get 6 sales, LD1, 250, split it between the mentor and the new person, right? Everybody stays on 150. January 15th, you get another 250. The person at the top, you still your 250. Everybody should be at 250 anyways, because with 6 sales, 6 sales, 6 sales, that's going to generate a lot of variance bonus. A lot of variance bonus. Don't become that guy who lost 800 for $100. Don't be that guy, right? It's not saving any money. Christmas is coming. You need shopping credits anyways. With that, let's just put this back to our fearless host, which I'm happy to see it's a guy for a change. Usually it's the ladies that are leading here in this company here. Abdulia, oh, she says, we are ready. They were rocking here this weekend. They're still in Toronto. Abdulia, why don't you come online and tell everybody what you're doing in Toronto? Abdulia, obviously, she's from Mexico, but she lives in California. And she's got a strong partner right now who lives in Mexico. And of course, she's teamed up with Daniela, who now lives in Mexico, and they're both here. Ladies, take over. What are you guys doing in Toronto this weekend?
Can you hear us, Ramin?
I can hear you, yes.
Nice. Danny's driving. We're going back home. We're so excited. I don't know if you want to talk, Ramin. They don't see you, but they can hear you.
Team, we are super excited, Ramin. We were listening to the call, and the Latino team is super ready to bring the numbers up and show the world what we're all about.
And I love what you guys did, right? Look, team, this is how you do build this business. They got together. I mean, this is amazing. That's exactly how I used to do. They got together from California to Mexico. So, okay, we need the Latino market. It's our market. It's ours. We're gonna take the market, and we're gonna start from Toronto because the world headquarters here. They run some ads. They got a bunch of leads. They flew in. Saturday they did an event. Bunch of new team members. Somebody even drove in from a US on a bus. A doctor from New Jersey. Boom. Now we have a team. And they're just in the beginning of it, right? They're just in the beginning of it. Lots more leads to go. This is how you build. It's not complicated. Anyone can do that. Especially the cost of that. Some of it's going through MAP. Upline pay for it. The company can contribute. You have your own MAP. Who is it that cannot run an ad? Show up looking like $1 million in a multi-million-dollar facility and do a 45-minute tour. Everybody can do that. If that's the path to the million for you, you should be doing this all day, right? You should be doing this all day. Abdulia.
Yes.
So, tell me how you feel about all this. Where are you going, and what's happening with Mexico? What's the plan? And talk about the new partner that you have, Daniela, as well. He's pretty excited. Yes. He's sharp. And what's going on with all that?
Of course, Mike is here with us as well. He's definitely a great partner. We're taking over. We just had a conversation with Sanaz maybe 30 minutes ago about Dubai. And let's see what he committed to, because he committed to bringing a lot of Latinos. So I'm going to pass it on to Mike.
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Uh,
Mike.
well, basically, 30 minutes ago, or more or less, Ramin, we made a commitment. Abdul is saying that I made a commitment, but the three of us made a commitment to bring 25 Latinos into the Dubai trip next April. So that's our commitment right now.
Love it.
That's our commitment, but more important, it's our goal. And when you set goals as an entrepreneur, that's a fact, and that's what you are targeting for. So that's our first goal as a community, and we're going to build it. We're going to do a checkup, and we have a milestone by the end of the year. And hopefully, we are going to be in a position to rise the bar a little bit more and try to get for more people into Dubai from the Latino community.
You know what? I know you're new here. Again, welcome home, and it's good to have you. You're a sharp individual, and I know you're gonna do well here. The key thing is this: it only takes one to build an empire, and you don't know who that person is gonna be. Could be somebody you met this weekend. It could be somebody you meet next weekend. Like Renee Liao was one person, right? The sponsor brought a bunch of people, but one person can put 10,000 people on your printout, 50,000 people on your printout. So we're only looking for that. Once we get that one, then we look for that next one. So it doesn't take a lot to build an empire in this industry, especially in our company. Latino market, I don't know if the 20 is why it's wide open for us, but every market has its time. We've had the Black community lead, we've had Caribbean leads, we had Asians lead, and looks like decade number 3 will belong to the Latinos, hopefully. And they'll do it
Yes.
serious. They'll do it
Yes.
serious. They'll do it serious. I know you guys do it seriously. So I look
Yes.
forward to it.
Thank you, Ramin. Thank you so much. And you mentioned Kenny. Yes, he was here from New Jersey, and he's very excited. He's a doctor. He's definitely very excited about being part of our Opulence global family. And at the same time, you mentioned this. It's so important to come to our headquarters. It is so important to see it, you know, like firsthand. So, congratulations to everyone who's here, who can come this Saturday to the boot camp, because this is an experience that not many people can have it. So make sure you guys come to Saturday. Make sure you guys are here at the boot camp, and make sure like we are committed to get to know everybody in headquarters and visit our headquarters at least once a quarter.
Fantastic. All right. I just realized the time. Wow, we are over by 14 minutes. And I guess we're having way too much fun.
That's a good
Fearless
thing.
host, take us home.
So go ahead, Ramin, if there's any last words.
I just want to say a lot of people know Carl Wolf. You guys know his songs, Africa. Anyway, it's him and his 30 people of his crew. Right now at our mansion, they're doing doing a music video. His next music video with another artist right now at our place. So I just want to tell you that you guys who knows Carl Wolf? Well, he's at our place doing his music video right now. Hi, everybody. Have a good night. Stay forensic.